should have been before.
It's getting better.
Hey, DM.
I feel like my soul has left my body.
Can we not do that so monotone next time?
Fuck.
Oh dear, I got it.
Okay.
I'm not dropping dice, I swear.
Welcome us back, why don't you?
Well-
Oh, 18.
Welcome back. We took a little bit longer there. We had a breakfast mishap.
Summary for the last bit again.
Summary for the last bit, yes.
'Cause we're doing
So you guys had been split into 2 groups. I'm sorry, let's wait for you, shall we? You want to take a selfie? It's fine. So you guys had been split into 2 groups. Half of you had stayed on the top deck with the crossbows. The other half had gone down into the observatory, which apparently scares a lot of you.
Yeah.
You'd played a nice game of cards in the observatory. You guys had battled a harpy up on the top deck.
I want some gold.
The rest of you down on the bottom deck had just been sitting, watching the water, because that's not going to give you nightmares. Yeah, so let's dive right back in. You guys had just fought a harpy, which had then been carried off by a second creature up in the clouds. It's gone quiet once again.
Wonderful. Oh, okay. Cool.
The mists are still heavy. It's rolling mist on the bottom and stuff, like you get like a low mist off the water, and then like heavy cloud coverage around the top, so you can see pretty far up into the pillars, but you can't actually see the sky above. But you guys are just kind of moving along. It's been about an hour or so you guys have been traveling for. Down in the observatory, you guys have watched as like the water underneath has been like deep pit, like you can't see the bottom, to like not even a minute later there's like a shoal and it's right up against, like it's brushing just over top of the shoal.
Okay.
So it's kind of going in and out of pits in the actual sand. Nothing too exciting going on. It's not quiet. It's quiet for the mire, but there's always like a hint of sound that you're not quite sure is coming from where. Yeah.
Can I just like sit and ready myself?
Yeah, sure. You kind of take up a position, just kind of ready with the crossbow if you need it.
Can I roll perception?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll me a perception.
That's good. That was not sarcastic for a while, actually. That's a 21.
21. Yeah.
21.
21.
Can I get perception checks from the 3 of you in the observatory, please?
That is, wow.
Nat 20.
19,
20?
20, 21, 22,
17.
23.
23? So 17 and nat 20. Shit, you guys have seen so much. So much DC.
One more from that 20.
All y'all got is a bunch of darkness.
Anybody got
Okay.
that one earlier? No. Not so much.
No, I got
Not in game, no.
2.
Yeah, so Denny, Charlotte takes a second to look around and stuff. You're not getting surprised again by harpies. That was weird. Scary. You can't spy too much, just looking out. And then you catch the glimmer of movement next to the boat. And you see blue scales dip up and out and into the water again.
What's that one book with like
We'll get to
the
your guys'
water
perception
dragon?
check in a second here.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it's
Okay.
What are you talking?
I was gonna say, like, what's that one book that was turned into a movie that like had the water dragon?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just saying of Overwatch.
Not Overwatch. That's not even a book.
I mean,
I don't think we can mention it even if we know it though.
yeah.
Yeah.
True. It's the Loch Ness Monster, boys.
Fantasy.
Messy. Cool. You guys want to do anything?
Do you want to tell me that you saw something, buddy?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Kids, roll me a perception check, please.
Can you give me a second? I need to.
You should have put this tally on an earlier page or on the front of your book rather than the back.
no, I want it on the back.
Perception check?
Perception check, please.
Okay. 15.
15? Yeah. So you managed to spot the blue scales. They're just kind of traveling next to the boat. Like, they're not getting any closer, any farther, or anything. They're just Every once in a while, you see them, they skim the top of the water, they go back down. You catch, as it goes to breach and stuff, you catch a glimpse of two very lovely brown eyes. And then it's back under the water, just moving along next to you guys in this blue scaled form. Down the observatory.
Wait. I'm just gonna like shout down below it, just like, hail!
Really?
Like,
Okay.
hey, well met.
We'll get right back to that, because down in the observatory,
Oh, no. Hey, I tried being friends.
you guys watch. You've packed up the card game now, and you just kind of sit around watching, waiting for anything to happen. You see this like gush of bubbles, and water just move to the side, and then you see struggling in the water, Charlotte.
What? No!
And
They don't know what this is, but I know it's
there are two sets of pale arms just kind of reaching out of the gloom, just like it's just beyond the actual distance that you guys can see with these lights down here. You see arms on her legs and her arms, and they're just dragging her down, and she's struggling and fighting, and
actually her right. Okay.
you see her, she's like starting to yell and stuff, and like there's a couple of bubbles coming out, and she kind of like thrashes around trying to free herself.
Hey guys, I'm kinda dying.
Probably isn't you though.
They
don't know what this is.
I'm
but
sorry,
Baz
you're
doesn't.
still not gonna save the version of me that may or may not be dying?
Can we roll something to see if it's actually Charlotte?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
sure, roll an investigation
Baz
check
is
for
gonna
me.
start freaking out.
That doesn't look like shit. Well, it does, but
It may not be.
is she stupid enough to go into the what? Well, yes, she does. She
13.
is.
13? Okay.
I got a 2.
Oh, am I going? Okay.
Baz, are you
What is it?
investigating? Would Baz investigate?
To see what's going on, maybe?
Does he want to see?
Does
if
Baz
he-
want to save his daughter, or would he just go straight to save his daughter?
Does Baz want to realize that she probably would jump in the water?
Okay, yeah.
I think
In
the
this
question is,
area?
would Baz hesitate?
No.
Would Baz think, like,
No.
it's not, there's a possibility it couldn't be Charlotte? Okay, well then what's Baz gonna do?
Look for an exit.
Shin,
Yeah.
this is Charlotte. As far as you can tell, there's fucking, she's thrashing around, she's freaking out. It's Charlotte, 100%. Tabik, it looks like Charlotte. It really does.
I'm gonna run upstairs.
The trapdoor is closed.
Fuck.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
go.
how we leave.
Fuck, the trapdoor's closed.
Okay.
So what are Finn and
I have a
Tallulah
question.
doing?
Okay, yeah, no. Fen and Tallulah, the second they see Charlotte hit the water and, like, get pulled under, fucking, they're, like, rushing around. Fen's yelling out orders to Tallulah and stuff. She's like, fuck! Shouldn't have let the kid on deck. Shouldn't have left the kid on deck. And Tallulah is over with that control panel, just fidgeting and stuff, and she's swearing every couple of seconds and kicking the wall and stuff because it's not doing what she wants it to do. But you watch as Charlotte is dragged even farther down underwater.
I feel a little honored that they're actually worrying about me.
Okay.
Except I know it's not me because I wouldn't be thrashing around. I would actually be trying to stab that.
I'm looking at you with this look, and it is a dirty look. I hope you know.
I can't do shit.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't have spells that would affect it.
I mean, I have detect magic, which wouldn't
Tabik,
do
can I
shit.
get a perception roll from you, please?
Perception? It's 21.
21. You catch the glimpse of graying silver hair at the bottom, like just underneath where the lights cascade, like just floating up and stuff. And you catch a glimpse of two arms, shorter arms, as they kind of wriggle around in the water down there.
Okay.
Is there an exit that we can see?
There's the hatch, and then there's the glass floor.
I'm just gonna like.
Is it like
Not
below
like-
Charlotte or what I
The,
saw?
Sink
the
the boat
hair
if
and
you
stuff
break the
is
No, I'm not gonna break the glass. I'll be like,
it's kind of Charlotte's kind of
something
like
that.
off to the side, almost like she's dropped off the deck and fallen in. You guys can see her because of how far the lights shine out, but she's not like underneath the boat quite yet.
Okay.
She's
But this
beside
other
the boat.
thing that I saw is
The thing that you see is like directly underneath you guys, and it looks like it's struggling.
I'm gonna go to the glass. I'm not gonna like cause damage or anything, but I'm gonna be like, hey, like try to get their attention, like knock on it.
You need to
And
speak a
yelling
little
is-
louder, buddy.
Yelling as loud as I can.
Yeah, no, you knock on the glass, and there's a whack as two hands dart onto the glass and slap onto them, and they look familiar, almost. Because they're darkish, kind of like a loose tan, almost like a natural tan. And they begin to pull, and you see a dwarvish woman pull herself under the glass. And she looks up at you, and she is fucking screaming. She's terrified. And then you see two slim, pale arms yank around her, like, chest, and she's yanked out of the visibility of the glass pane. You see, over by the side where Charlotte is struggling, she's starting to stop struggling. She's going limp.
Oh my god. Okay.
Hi, guys.
Can you please?
Guys, I'm dying a little.
Don't worry, look at you.
We
Do I-
can't
do
do
I
it.
do something,
I
guys?
literally can't do anything.
Can I start like trying to like break?
Yeah, no, roll the hit, please.
Oh my god!
You're
Hey.
gonna kill us all!
Baz would do this. Jason, me wouldn't. I would not do this. Baz would.
Wait,
Okay,
wait,
one
wait.
of you two
You
better
know,
stop
I-
him.
I thought the stupid idea
Could
would
I
be
cast
you
Fairy Fire?
casting Zone of Truth.
Yeah.
No.
You can get Fairy Fire. Yeah, sure. What's the distance on that?
20-foot cube within range, outlined in blue, green,
Okay.
violet light.
Yeah.
directly underneath the
20
ship.
feet?
I'm guessing.
Directly
20 foot.
under?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having a mental breakdown.
Probably just catch you.
Just
Go ahead.
catch.
Just
I don't know
catch.
how
Just
to.
catch.
I don't know how to do this.
This game is the reason I'm suicidal.
Baz, roll the hit, please. Nate?
Oh boy.
It's not very difficult to miss. It's a fucking huge pane of glass.
I hate
Roll me
myself for
damage,
doing
please.
this.
1 sec.
I
I have
actually
to.
hate myself for
Sorry,
doing
you're-
this.
You're attacking the boat.
With my hand. Roll the glass.
Please don't break it. Please don't break
Why?
it. Please don't break it. Please don't break it.
Oh,
we're rolling
shit.
Wait, what am I rolling?
You don't even have to roll damage because you go to slam the axe down, and as
I
you
said
do,
my hand.
your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, you go to slam your hand down into this glass to like punch it open and stuff. As you do, you hear Tallulah over your shoulder. You guys' backs yell, "Hold your breath!" and the glass disappears.
Oh my god.
Fuck me in the asshole.
Up on deck.
Tell me.
Hi, how you guys doing? Charlotte, you yell, "Hail!" And you watch as a slim, taloned, scaled hand reaches up and goes and waves. And the actual form like stops, like it's been trying to keep up with you guys. Now it's kind of like slowed its pace. And you watch as it begins to rise out of the water.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And
You guys thought you were gonna actually see me
It
drag
starts
under?
with a snout,
It might still happen.
up into a face, and you see a blue dragonborn sitting in the water.
My kind.
And she's got these lovely, lovely deep brown eyes, and she looks kind of confused, a little bit like she's not sure what's going on right now. And Kiza, she looks very familiar, but you don't know why.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. And she pops out, and she doesn't speak or anything. She's just kind of looking at you and waving slightly, like she's not sure what she should be doing.
I'm gonna do something.
Oh, okay.
I want to do it so bad. This is a horrible idea.
What do you, oh god. Can I talk to them first?
You know what? I'll let you talk to them first.
Okay,
We'll see what happens.
sure. What's a dragonborn doing out in the middle of the ocean? Without a boat?
Okay, the dragonborn tilts its head like it doesn't quite understand you, and it garbles back in something. It sounds common, but not the type of common that you guys speak. This sounds old, broken up almost, and it has bits and pieces list that you actually can pick up as draconic, and it's woven in, and it seems like a question, but it's just like this dragonborn does not look like it understands what's going on right now.
I want to do it so bad, but it's
don't know what
a
you're
horrible
doing.
idea.
Don't hit it.
If you jump into the water, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Okay, I have 2 suggestions. 1, don't hit it. 2, don't hit on it. Okay? Does that take out your options?
Can I roll to see if I recognize something specific about them?
Oh yeah, do me an investigation check,
Okay.
and then do me a history check.
Okay, fantastic.
I guess, yeah, could I do a history or like something to figure
You
out the
can do
language?
You can reroll
the
that.
language.
It's just
Do a
Yeah.
history check.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
History, okay.
Like it was any better.
16 for investigation,
Okay.
Ooh.
and then history is 18.
18. Okay.
The question is, how long till we drown?
You can't pinpoint who it is, but by God, you can tell you've seen this person in your life more times than you've probably seen yourself. It's like walking into your house and seeing one of your parents. Like you know this person on such a deep level. There's something wrong with it though. There's something wrong with her because
She has no arm.
you look at her.
Oh no!
No, you look at her and you think, this thought pops into your head and you're not sure where it comes from. You're like, where's her scar? And then just as quickly as it comes, it's gone. Because you don't know what it came from, you don't know why it's there.
Oh my god, no.
And you're not sure who it is.
Oh, fantastic. Lovely.
And Danny,
Yeah.
you rolled a history check for the language.
Yeah, I only rolled an 8 though.
It's old.
Yeah.
Like, very old. Like, older than you old. Like, older than
I
a
mean,
lot of shit.
I'm 12?
Yeah.
So, okay.
But
I don't.
But it's probably older than, like, a lot of the people you know, a lot of the places you've gone. This
it-
does not sound like common
Hey, Charlotte.
What?
that is today.
I'm
It's
gonna
it's
scare
like
you.
it's like old
wait.
British
I
slang
think jumping into
compared
the
to
fucking water
modern
just
day
will fucking kill
Okay.
you.
English. Like this stuff is
You're just. This
So
is
this
just
is
so
older than
strange.
Mr.
Just
Baz
wait.
Benham himself.
you think this could be older than everyone.
The old dwarf
You
we
know.
saw even.
244 years old.
So, I'm going to do something now that
Yeah.
might be slightly shocking to the entire group. Kiza is going to drop to her knees, drop all of her weapons, and just sob. She's not going to do anything. She's just going to sob. She doesn't know why, but she's just sobbing.
Okay, no, this is fucking heartbreaking for you. You don't know what it is, but like this is like very, very painful.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna pray.
Yeah, I thought that too, and that would be...
Oh, she's praying.
She's like, oh, Jesus, please.
No, she's not praying to Jesus, and she's not praying to a specific god. She's literally, like, at this point, she's on her knees. She's praying
anyone
to
that'll
every
listen.
god she can think of.
Anyone that'll listen.
uh,
Charlotte?
What do I do when that Dragonborn is just standing there waving and talking in some foreign language that I don't know, and then the one that's trying to help me is sobbing on the ground like a 12-year-old kid! 10-year-old kid!
Yeah. So Kiza drops to her knees sobbing. This dragonborn is still in the water. And you hear a cry. Like a hawk cry. And swooping down from where it's been circling the brow of the ship, comes the hawk, the osprey.
Oh, okay.
And midway down into diving at this thing, it begins to shift. And all of a sudden, falling from the sky directly onto this dragonborn is that little boy that you saw. And he's got the dark hair and the darker skin and the strange colored eyes, and he's got 2 daggers in either hand. And he lets out this battle cry. And then him and the dragonborn are underwater with a splash. And we're going back down to the observatory.
What the fuck, man?
How long until we drown?
Hi, so roll me a d4, please.
Oh right, I forgot they were drowning.
1d4, please. everyone.
Hey. Yeah, Kiz
That's
is
a
not
4.
okay.
4,
Well,
That's
I
a
can
1.
see that.
a 1, and a 3. Okay, roll me initiative, please.
That's a nat 20.
That is also a 20.
7.
Okay. Where'd my paper go? I had a paper for this. Cool, yes. So, nat 20?
Nat 20.
20 as well.
Okay. That is 20, and you got a 4?
What? My modifier?
No,
Or,
your
yeah, my
D4.
D4 is a 4.
Okay.
I got a 1.
1. 2020. What did Tabit get?
7 initiative.
7. Okay.
Swing of those 3.
I regret everything.
See, is this Dylan saying it, or would this be Shin saying it?
Both.
Shin is underwater. He's not speaking, but he's looking at everything like he's done with the
Tabit, what
world.
did you get? You got 3?
D4. Yeah, 3.
3. And... Cool. So your D4 will accentuate how many rounds you have of breath.
I got 1!
So, but as you have 1 until you run out of breathing air.
Well, isn't that supposed to be a constitution determines that?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're good, sweet sweet. So you have one round of action, Baz, and your next round is gonna have to be getting air or drowning.
Is there a place to get air? Like,
Oh, you have to swim back up from the...
we have to swim back up? Like, there's
You
enough...
can check, but
That's an 8 plus 4 to check. No, that would be investigation, so that's a 9.
okay, 9.
It's a 1.
1.
Hey, not 1 counter.
19 plus
Investigation.
investigation, 20.
20. Okay. Yeah, no, so you actually see, you 3 have dropped in because you guys were standing on the glass
Yeah.
when this happened.
Tabak wouldn't be. He'd be on the side, looking over.
Okay, sorry. Shin and Baz, you guys have dropped into the water.
Mhm.
Tabik, you, Fen, and Tallulah are currently standing on the edge of the rim, in kind of what looks like a diving bay almost. So the glass has disappeared, but the water has not come up.
Okay,
In its place is left like a kind of shimmery looking screen.
okay. That was so bad.
So can we see that there's this place to pull ourselves back into? Or
Yeah,
not?
you can,
Okay.
you notice that pretty easily.
'Kay.
Okay.
Okay.
Shin, Baz, you drop into the water, and for a minute you can't like see because there's so many like bubbles and just air and everything. The water's
Yeah.
moving around you. You pop back up and you're like keeping yourselves afloat because it's not difficult.
Mhm.
The boat is moving still slightly, but it's slow enough that you guys can keep up with it, no problem.
Yeah.
You see, just at the peripheral of your vision, just at the edge of this kind of like little spotlit area, you see dark scales and pale arms and long greasy hair circling around in what looks to be 4 or 5 of whatever these things are. And you see Charlotte, who now has 2 sets of arms. The ones on her legs have let go, but there are still 2 pale arms that are just dragging her down. She is limp. She is no longer struggling. You can't tell if she's alive and breathing yet. And you drop into the water. And Shin, you're up first.
I was gonna cast Fairy Fire. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how spellcasting works. Someone explained it to me.
Fairy Fire, I think you just cast it.
Do I just cast it?
Because
if
all
it-
it does is put out lights and illuminates.
Yeah. Well,
it gives
it also
advantage
gives
to hit
advantage to hit.
on a 20 by
Yes.
20 block.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Which I don't know if there'd
So
be any
you need
point
your
from the sound of that.
spellcast modifier.
Charisma, so that's +2.
+2. Okay, but
You gotta
Um,
roll.
Yeah.
spell
That's-
save DC. I do need to know what your
9
spell
plus
save
2.
DC.
9, 10.
Spell save
11?
DC.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a 20 by 20.
Yeah.
It's just like these sparkling lights light up.
Yeah.
And you notice there were actually a couple of like dim lights just around in the
Mhm.
water. You can't tell what they are.
'Kay.
But your own fairy lights kind of glimmer up, and you see it just barely manages to catch 2 of these,
Mhm.
and Charlotte in
Okay.
its grasp. And you see the forms of 2 creatures lit up, long, kind of sinewy tails. It doesn't quite light up the actual creature. You can see what they look like vaguely, what their form is.
They have to grab this stuff from me.
And
Go ahead.
there are currently 2 of them
You
holding
can
onto
just stack
Charlotte,
them
Yeah.
down, too.
and you see a glimmer of a trail of what looks like a tail underneath Charlotte.
Okay. That's
Hey.
my entire action.
Hey Dylan, are you gonna save me?
But
Oh,
if you
Baz.
don't save the visual version, how can I
Can I-
trust you after this?
Can I roll to see,
Um,
if I know the
Because
dwarven
Havoc's
lady?
a
I don't know her
paranoid
name.
little.
The
What?
Dwarven lady?
Havoc's a
Oh
paranoid.
yeah, no, fuck you. You know that.
I'm pretty sure,
Of
but like,
course you know her. It's Fairnessa. It's
I
your
thought,
wife.
okay, I wrote that down.
Are you gonna save your wife or is she just gonna die?
This is where the chaotic good comes in.
Oh god, no.
Oh boy.
Fuck.
Because I'll say right now, Shin doesn't really care that much about saving Charlotte, but he'd care about saving his own life.
How far away is Charlotte from me?
So Charlotte is at the edge of this 20 square, so she's about 20 feet of swimming away.
How far is
sorry.
Baz? Oh, not
20 feet
Baz.
away.
Shin.
Farinessa, you can't actually see around you right now. She was yanked away from the lights and stuff out of what you can see, but you can't actually spot her. She was on the opposite side of where Charlotte went down, though.
Okay. Where is Shin?
Shin is kind of next to you, like 10 feet over.
Oh, okay. So, I'm going to cast Shatter.
Is Shatter vocal?
No? It just says instantaneous.
It would have a V if it was.
Fairy Fire is not vocal either, is it?
No, it's concentration.
Okay.
So,
You will not be able to cast vocal.
Yeah,
under
obviously.
water.
I'm gonna cast it. Now, Baz thinks this is actually Charlotte, so.
Yeah, he wouldn't be perceptive enough to not to notice the tail.
well, it's lit up by the fairy fire.
But
And
it's also
it's-
Baz.
Yeah,
Is
Baz
it-
rolled very
somebody
low.
could just
It's
point
not
to the
like
tail, guys.
Proper thing, like these creatures, you can clearly see their outline.
Mhm.
It's like the glimmer of it. It's like moving slightly. Like the fire's not quite sure
Mm-hmm.
if it's got it right,
Yeah.
but it looks like it could be under Charlotte. It could be behind Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 50-50.
It illuminates. Like, the
He's
creature's
gonna
outlines.
cast it right beside Charlotte, not directly inside of Charlotte, but like beside it.
Okay.
Wow.
Wait, what?
They have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Do I roll for the version of myself?
Just remember that after this, you have to
You
swim
trying
Yep.
to catch Charlotte in? Are you trying to catch Charlotte within the shatter or no?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she's. I don't know. I'm
What's the
thinking
DC?
Tavik would. What do you mean? 13.
13. Okay, so that's 1. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll make it.
This is an 8, right?
So they take
Yeah.
half damage.
Yeah, I have to roll 3d8 though.
Oh, that's not. That's not yeah.
6. 6.
Okay, so
15.
15 damage. Cut in half because they made the DC. Okay.
He doesn't get Shin though.
No,
Okay.
don't catch them. Okay.
And then can I swim up now? Or
Yep, you can use your movement to swim up.
oh, will my movement swim up?
Okay, so that was 15 divided by 2, which is
You're
going to
leaving
be
Shin alone in the water.
8.
Well, I'm still technically in the water. I'm just like,
His little dwarf legs are still swimming
Yeah,
underneath.
you could have swam up.
Roll me a d4.
I thought about it. But I thought about
4.
it after, because I forgot.
4?
Mhm.
Okay. You have 3 rounds left.
Yep.
Cool. There we go. Okay.
I don't know what.
Charm save. Charm save.
So I get
Charm save.
advantage?
Advantage. For you.
oh fuck.
So that's... Charm save is what?
What is the term?
It's a charm saving throw. So,
What is it?
wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom
So
saving
that's a
throw.
15.
15?
19.
19?
Wait 1 second. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, fuck.
Is it wisdom?
Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
Got a 3.
Oh, fuck.
Baz, on your turn, you are going to use all of your movement and all of your turn to swim as close as you can get to Farissa,
shaking.
who has now reappeared at the bottom of the lights.
I'm not touching the table.
No, but even if you shake without touching the table, it shakes it. You can't shake. Stop!
So it's going to be that one, wait, that one, and that one.
I'm trying to look very serious with this book on.
You don't understand.
Okay.
You know, you can shake, but it's gonna shake. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not even shaking right now. I'm like trying to shake and this table's still shaking, so it's not me.
It's not me,
Okay.
I'm not touching the table.
Sorry, that was me. Alright. It's going to be 1, 2 there.
I am trying so hard not to shake, but I am like...
Just don't shake touching the table, as long as you're like...
Like, do you know how much effort it takes me not to fucking move?
I thought at first you said the whole thing flooded with water, and that would really not be good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Boy.
I forgot I had that.
Cool.
Fantastic.
My
Ah,
jacket.
Shin!
Yeah.
Frickin'.
You see the glimmer of red
That's what you
hair.
meant, right?
And
Are we skipping my
appearing. Oh no, this is still
Okay,
my
still.
turn. It's still my turn. Don't worry about it. Appearing just slightly below you, locked in battle with one of these creatures, which you can now see,
Mhm.
is Adron. And he is currently beating the shit out of this thing.
Oh.
Okay. It is, now that you can see it, and this is the only one you guys can see because it is right in the fucking light. These things are fucking ridiculously terrifying looking. Like, it's a good, tall, long body. Lean, graying skin pulled tight to the bones. Like, there's no muscle or fat or anything. The skin is pulled back on their faces. They have no lips. Just kind of skin that's being pulled aside to show sharp teeth. 2 black eyes. Long, kind of greasy hair that's been, like, taken out in clumps in some places. Talons on their fingers and long, almost, like, dying-looking tails. These things don't look good. They look sick. And it is currently locked in battle with Adron underneath the boat. And it is Tavic's turn.
I don't know what you would do.
Someone's gonna have to fucking hold Shin by his hood.
Sorry, are they all underwater still?
Oh yeah,
Shin.
they're all underwater.
Well, us too.
Shin's underwater.
Shin is
Baz has
underwater.
currently got his head
Yeah, Tavik never
poking
went
up
on top of that
into
glass.
the water, but he's just spotted Faranessa below.
Hey, Char.
Hmm?
Wanna go for a swim?
Yeah, we might
Well, do
have
they know
to.
this is happening?
They're currently talking to a blue dragonborn.
Well,
Well, no, it went
It
underwater.
went underwater. I'm not anymore, because, kind of...
Oh no, this is happening at the same time.
Oh,
like,
oh,
they're talking to the
fantastic.
dragonborn as you guys are like underwater fighting.
What's your fantastic count at so far?
20! It's been one.
Which reminds me. There we go. Okay.
Sorry, I need
Oh,
to
this
borrow that. I'm like, it's mine now.
How far does this reach?
He has
I didn't take out my
I can't say any of my keywords because now I have them as counters.
What's up, Tabak? How's it going, buddy? Emotional distress is my
I
favorite
hate
thing.
you, Reese.
I just love it. Telling you so many things. Hate me all you
So
want.
you basically just said, like, in this time frame,
Charlotte's
you
like
basically
within
were
30
just
feet
like,
from
hey.
Tabitha. You can see her, right?
Yeah, you're still standing up in the thing, so
Yeah,
it is
but
a
I
little
can
bit
see 'em,
farther,
okay.
but you can't see.
Okay.
Can the
Raise
rest
his
of
hand.
them see what Shin's seeing or no?
Yeah, no, you guys can clearly see. You guys all see Farinissa down below. You're not
It comes
sure
out
who
with
it
the
is.
face
It's a
of, like,
dwarven
ooh.
woman. You can all see Adron clearly battling with this thing.
Yeah.
And Charlotte currently lifeless as she is being dragged down.
I forgot about
Well,
that.
I think we know what those questions were for, guys.
If it was technically gonna be 110% accurate, it would have been, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
No.
difficult.
What
with
is,
the
like,
camera, so.
Wait, you're the one who wrote me down?
What?
Oh, you sweetheart!
Yeah, it's gonna be Danny. Just like you see a human woman.
You see me drowning!
Reese, produce flame would still work underwater, yeah. It's like magical flame.
Not
It's magical flame, so I would say yes, but it would not last very long. Right?
Well, I
So,
can shoot like a flame.
oh, if you want to shoot it into the water, it's not gonna work.
No?
If it's produced inside of the water, it'll do its damage, but it's gone right away because it is flame. It's not gonna work underwater.
Spell slots. Guiding bolt's at the one that looks like it's attacking Charlotte.
Guiding bolt, the one that's protecting Charlotte.
Looks like it's attacking Charlotte. Yes.
Okay. Sure. There's one on the left and one on the right.
Right, I guess.
Right one? Okay.
Oh, well.
Fuck.
That is a 9. I don't think that hits.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
Wait, they also
Oh,
don't
that's
have any
not fair.
armor.
Would a
so-
9 hit?
No.
Oh, JK. I thought you had added stuff.
No, I rolled a 6.
Oh, okay.
Cool. You still have a bonus action.
Wait, Fireboy's in the water.
No, he's
no,
not.
Fireboy
No,
is
he's
currently
not.
standing on the side.
Shin is in the water.
Oh, okay.
But thanks for
Fireboy,
all the
you
concern.
gonna brave it and go in the water?
No! It's cold water. No.
You're like a small child who's like, no, I'm not going in that. It's cold.
Nah, man.
Can you try to like figure out what's happening as a bonus action roll? Like, if,
Tell me how he would do that.
like, cause he saw a dwarf, right? He would have seen Baz's, and that wouldn't logically be out here.
Yeah, probably.
So what?
I'm out here.
This doesn't look like.
Wait,
Just
where would it co-
watching.
There's no other ships around though.
No,
Just watching, you can tell that something is definitely off.
Can I try to
Something
figure
about
out
this
what is
isn't
off?
right.
Like perception.
There's a dwarf for one that
Yeah,
you've never
and
seen.
there's-
Adron is also there.
Adrian wouldn't be here at all.
There's also these strange
Silver hair.
mermaid-looking creatures. They're reminiscent of them, but they don't.
And there's that silver hair you mentioned too.
Yeah, and there was the silver hair that has now disappeared
Mm.
from the bottom.
I just remembered something. Fuck you, Reese.
We always seem to end up hating fucking Reese.
Oh, we didn't sing our song.
I mean,
We haven't sang our song for
Ditto's
the
Can I
last
do a
Sorry,
hour,
general
so-
investigation
Yeah.
check then?
Yeah,
Probably?
sure.
I just forgot it.
See what you can notice.
17?
17? Yep. Just glancing around, you don't know too much about the dwarf. You have no clue who that could be. Something about Adron is off-putting. It doesn't quite look right. But you also notice Charlotte has her pinky.
Ooh.
Oh.
I can't tell you guys to get out of the water. You guys are underwater.
Well, Baz is swimming up.
Yeah.
Oh, Baz is up. You could tell Baz.
Are you up or did you wait?
No.
He's got his head up here, but he's definitely looking like he's ready to go back under.
Okay, grab him.
I don't know if I can technically grab him.
Well, you
because I
can't.
He's in the
Stuff my
middle of the
stuff.
water.
Yeah.
So.
Charlotte.
I have a good idea.
You want to go first? Why don't you just like yell?
Well,
No, I have a
that's
good
your
idea.
that's your thing though, because you don't have an action left.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
I don't know
hold
if
on,
Reese
I
would
need
let me
to-
say anything.
No, I need to check.
Pedro.
Fuck you, Reese. Fuck you.
Okay. You watch as an elvish woman swims into reach. And she kind of like, she looks like she's like running from something. She keeps glancing over her shoulder and stuff. She's very, very nice looking though. She's plain for an elf. Kind of shorter brown hair. The nice little brown eyes and stuff. She looks scared, but she doesn't look like she's doing too much. And you guys actually watch as Fendril, he's been watching you guys here. Tavik, you hear him yell Melly, and then he dives into the water. And he begins to swim after this elvish woman who is
Right down Melly.
now being grabbed by the side. She's grabbed by one of these creatures, and propelled down to the bottom, and she's like freaking out.
noticed.
And he is swimming down as far as he can.
What?
Coolios.
Jasper had to point out the obvious and say it's not real.
Oh yeah, we know it's not real,
No,
but like,
but
Wait,
Tabit's
Jasper,
still panic.
Jasper, I'd just like to remind you that we're playing Dungeons
Danny?
and Dragons
Danny,
of
Danny,
5e.
Danny, Tabit's not okay right now.
You then see Tallulah, who's just released her hand off the thing.
Oh, right.
You guys actually see a sleek black tail, and Sashimi is underwater now. And you watch as
Okay.
Tallulah,
called it.
she glances down, she's confused, and then she shakes her head, and she begins to say a spell. And where is my modifier for that?
Did you figure out if you can do the thing?
I think I can, yeah.
Give me 2 seconds. I go from my spell here. Cause I'm not ready to go yet.
You know what's really funny though?
Mm-mm.
The other sirens, or whatever.
Enough.
Okay.
Similar.
They, like I said, mentioned before, they didn't bring the one person who guys would care about the most.
There's another person that could show up for Shin, but that would like really fucking confuse him, and would probably call the whole thing off.
Bass is dumb as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I just realized.
Baz is
No, he wouldn't go after Faranissa.
You
And I-
see him, her, like, this almost light-made spear appears in her hand, and she just chucks it down, and it goes sailing and impales Sashimi in the side. And you see purple blood begin to pool out into the water, and this thing, the second it's impacted, it curls in on itself, and it gives out this scream, and you can hear it underwater. And it's not like a loud scream or anything, but you can, it's like she's screaming above water. And she wiggles out of the thing, and as she goes, you see the black sleek tail turn into the same kind of gray dying flesh of these other creatures.
okay. Now you two know what the fuck's going on.
Fun times,
Would
fun
Baz
times.
notice that?
Yeah, would we notice?
You would notice, but you're too focused on Faranessa right now.
Just so dumb. It's.
I'm trying to think if Shin would notice.
What's your passive perception?
Would go
13.
after her.
Yeah.
Easy. No,
He-
this.
he
She's
de-
like swam beneath you.
So he's definitely figured out that this is some sort of illusion.
Something is wrong.
Yeah.
Something is not going right here.
According to Kikaku. Translators know Kikaku means plan.
Okay, now you see something funny come now. Because you see another splash from above. And a blue dragonborn goes flying in. She knocks into Adron. And he gets like thrown off course, and he turns around, and as he goes, he hisses. And then him and the creature, they swim back off into the out of the light and stuff. And you see, currently with 2 daggers impaled in her like chest, a small child who is just
Whoa.
kind of like
interesting.
avenging moment Shink, and he just unsheaths both of them, and the purple blood starts to flow, and it morphs in, and you watch as it changes. Same dead tail, same gaunt gray skin pulled back, the greasy hair, and it begins to float lifelessly to the bottom.
Holy shit, he killed him in one hit.
Nice.
That's a strong little kid.
And
Yaga.
he turns, and he doesn't look like he's swimming. Like he's moving as if he's like on land. He's perfectly fine. And he turns and he just flings one of his daggers out towards the creature holding Charlotte. And he hits it, and just fucking off comes the neck. Just fucking decapitated. The head rolls around. And the limp form of Charlotte and the siren-like creature, the whatever these things are, they both recoil. And with a glimmer, you watch as this illusory Charlotte pulls back into the same gaunt figure as the rest of these creatures. And they swim out of the light in fear. And we're back up on deck.
You wanna go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't even keep track of notes right now.
Trying to think what would happen. What would Kizza do?
She's crying right now.
Yeah, she's crying.
And a small child has dropped out of the air and impaled the sting
Yeah.
and then disappeared.
She's crying, but she also, I feel like she'd also be aware of the fact that something's not right with the situation, especially because the first thought that popped into her head is, where's their scar? So I feel like she'd be kind of aware. So she'd be upset because she'd be like, why can't I remember this person? But she wouldn't be upset in the sense that oh my god, someone just killed them, because she'd be like,
Who the fuck is that? And why do I know that?
fuck are you?
Well, apparently two of us have memory problems. So, yeah, I think she probably just gets up and kind of shakes it off, and she dramatically wipes away tears, and she just flips her scales. She turns, she looks at Charlotte, she takes a deep breath, and she goes, okay, what do you want to do?
Are you alright?
Just fantastic.
Put that down!
Fucking keep your tally.
This isn't okay, Bree.
I'm giving you so much. You're so angry at me, but I'm giving you so much.
I know.
Okay.
Do you see my face right now?
I told you I was gonna emotionally hurt you, okay? I warned you. Are you crying? No!
Jasper.
No!
I mean, it's not the worst thing you could have done, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not finished. yet.
So Charlotte's gonna
it's
just awkwardly pat Kizza on her arm or something, the highest part she can reach on her arm, and just okay, well, you keep watch. I'm gonna let them know what happened downstairs and see if they can give me any info on that.
You're gonna see quite a scene.
So I'm gonna cast message.
Message?
Yeah.
What's
To
the
which
range
one
on
of us?
message?
It's 120 feet.
Okay. Who are you messaging?
I'm gonna contact. I probably know Baz the best, so I'm gonna ask him.
Okay. Make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. For what? Where's my dice? That's right
It's hiding
there.
behind your coffee.
Wisdom saving throw?
I'm fine with that.
17.
Okay.
Okay. Breaker.
Charlotte would not say that. Oh my gosh.
Mr. Banham, I'm not sure if you just saw that downstairs in the observatory, but Miss Kizza just started crying because a dragonborn was shot down from the sky from an eagle I'm not sure how everything's going down there, but I just wanted to check up.
Kizza yells, "The eagle turned into a child!"
No, that's not how this
It's on
works.
speakerphone.
No, they're just yelling it at Charlotte. They're not trying to...
Yeah, the eagle turned into the kid that I saw earlier that I failed to mention till right now. But yeah, checking in.
Cool.
And with
And that's
message?
as much as you'll be able to get out.
Yeah.
Can't you say, like, a quick reply with message?
Yeah.
Kizza, you gave your turn up for Charlotte to go, so it's still your turn.
Oh, let's think of what I can do.
I actually have
that's not stupid.
Go pee quick.
You can probably still hear us from down
Yeah,
here.
we'll pause in
Yeah,
you can
a
hear.
couple minutes here.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's almost been an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they can reply.
Oh, do you want to give a reply first?
Can I?
Baz cannot.
Knew it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
fantastic.
Because he's underwater.
Because he is currently charmed.
Oh.
There is nothing on his mind as far as he's concerned.
Oh, fuck, you're about to swim down, aren't
Yep.
you?
So wait, that didn't even.
He heard it, but like it's second thought right now. Like it's like you're having a phone call and someone says something in the background. Like you still hear it, but you're not paying attention to it. So if he breaks out of the charm, yeah, he'll remember hearing it and stuff. He'll know what happened. But right now, he's not thinking about it.
Hey,
Can
buddy, I tried.
Thanks.
Got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I, like, just kind of... I don't want it to be my action, but I just want to, like, kind of see what's around.
Yeah, sure. Perception check.
Perception, figure out what the fuck's happening.
still in the fucking
Yeah, let's figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
23.
20.
It's
Nat 20?
Yeah.
totally clear. Like there's nothing. You can't see anything. The waves are the same, calm. It's fog, the occasional murmured voice and stuff. There's no disruption in the water at all. You're not sure what happened to this dragonborn and this kid, but as far as you're aware, it was totally normal. Nothing going on. You do, however, see the blink of a light just ahead of you guys. A while away, but just a low kind of hum of like an orangey flame. It spikes every once in a while. Dims.
Oh.
Spikes again.
Oh, it's a lighthouse.
Dims.
What's our captain's name again?
Shishimi.
Okay. Are they good? They doing okay? They look like they're in a somewhat stable state to take in information.
They actually are kind of like glazy-eyed. Like they're. She's still got her hands on the steering wheel and stuff. But right now it doesn't look like she's actually seeing what's going on.
Man.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Charlotte and say, I'm gonna put a hand on their shoulder and I'm gonna be like, just give me a minute. And I'm gonna bolt to the other side of the boat.
Okay, yeah, no. How much movement do you have?
Oh god. Sweet. 30 feet.
30 feet?
And I think you can dash as an additional action. too.
Technically, you guys aren't in combat right now, so you make it across the thing. You're up next to her now. She looks like she's like mumbling to herself. And her eyes look like glazed over, like they've taken on kind of like this whitish milkish hint. But you remember the golden rings that were around her pupil before, they are now far larger.
Can I put my hand on her shoulder and see if she does anything?
Oh yeah, she like flinches for a second and she goes and like hits you on the face like she's tapping and she goes, and it looks like she's like struggling to concentrate to get this out and stuff, and she says, "What?"
Are you okay?
Bit busy right now. And she's like flinching and stuff like she's getting hit or something, but she doesn't have any injuries on her or anything.
Oh.
I
Can
think
I
I know what
help
it is,
you?
and it's really cool.
Not really something you can. Oh shit! And she like ducks her head, and
She
it looks like
playing
it's
a
a
video game?
reactionary. It looks like it's reactionary. She's not actually ducking anything, but it looks like she's trying to. and then she pops back up. She's not really something you can help with.
I know.
Playing a
I know what
video
it is. It
game.
is so cool.
Am I seeing this?
Yeah, no, it's
Where
it's
did I see?
pretty difficult to miss. She's making weird movements and like she's got a hand on Kiz's face right now. But
So she's looking this way.
yeah,
Is that where I saw that weird light thingy?
No, I know what it is, but
yeah, she's looking ahead of the
it's so
thing.
cool.
Like she's facing towards the front of the ship where the light is, but she's not like looking at it.
Kizza, maybe we should try steering the boat.
No,
No,
she's still,
no,
no.
No.
You're
No.
60 feet away.
What?
You're
I
still
can
like
still get over there.
Hey, how you guys doing underwater? Cause it's Shin's turn now.
Can I swim up?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
try
okay, we
and
gotta.
swim up and get
We're just
up into the boat rather than.
Come here, friend.
You swim your way up into the boat. You can haul yourself onto the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you haul yourself onto the boat. You feel a like scrape across your ankle as you go.
Yeah.
And when you pull your leg out of the thing, there is like a tear of these claw marks in your pants and your boots.
Yeah.
But you're fine.
Yeah.
And you manage to pull yourself on. And there's less of these things in the water now. There's the dwarvish woman who you saw down at the bottom.
Yeah.
But other than that, and the occasional flick of a tail around the outside, there's no one here other than this child in the middle of the water.
And Fen is gone, right?
Fen is swimming down. He is like halfway down to the bottom of where the lights stop, chasing after this elvish woman.
But I think, is my movement my entire action to get up onto the boat?
No, with your movement, you have enough movement to pull yourself to get up there, because you're not far down.
Yeah.
To get up there and then pull yourself over is your movement, but you still have an action left, yeah.
Sorry, don't mind me. I could probably use my spell cards.
Not a problem.
Just trying to think if Dispel Magic would work.
Dispel magic can get rid of a charm spell on someone.
Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. Make an ability check using spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds here. Okay. Go ahead. What do you want to do?
I was gonna see if I can cast, because I'm guessing it's some sort of magic, if I could cast Dispel Magic on Fen. But I don't know if it would work on Charm Magic.
It dispels charm spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's
It's
also an illusion.
Yeah. Yeah, you can try it. Yeah,
I can try it?
you can try it.
Doing it on Fen.
I'm just gonna... Because I think I have to have a specific, one creature, object, or magical... Well, I can target it at a magical effect. So, I could target it on the illusion. But... It's either I target it on the illusion or I target it on Fen.
I don't think the illusion's part of the charm.
I'll target it on Fen. Nah, that's a 5.
Well, it did hit the
Well, yeah, it
Yeah.
hit my
Go ahead.
tablet. That's only... That's a
7
9.
plus what modifier though?
Charisma. 7, 8, 9.
9?
It doesn't do anything.
There's like a twitch in his boot, but
Yeah.
he's going for this.
Yeah.
He's very dedicated. Baz. Hey, how much movement you got, buddy?
25.
25? Awesome. Yeah, you swim down. You're
Fuck, where'd my
catching up with Fen here. Just dropping towards Farinessa.
Wait, do you think...
And you use the dash
not that
action, which means 50 feet of movement. You watch as Baz takes a big gulp of breath, dives down, and uses all of his dwarvish little might to completely ditch the lights. He is
Wait,
under...
is he slower because his legs messed up?
Slightly. He's 10 feet still before he's out of the light now, but he's very, very close. And Farinessa, or the dwarvish woman at the bottom, you now see has like reached out a hand, as if to like grab Baz, and she is being dragged slightly farther under the water out of light.
So guys, see you next season.
And it
It's
is
not my
fun
fault this
time.
Blame Reese.
Yeah, but you also
Cool.
failed on the charms.
Okay. So that's a 24 to hit.
Oh god.
See hits.
Oh, by the way, did I take any damage from the claws?
No,
It
it tore at your boot, but it didn't manage to actually get you.
It didn't manage to actually
It ruined
cut me.
your clothes.
Oh no. It's not like Shin doesn't have 3 sets of those.
I can mend them.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, mending spell.
You take 13 points of damage. As just barreling out of the fucking darkness comes this large fish-like woman, and she just fucking wraps 2 arms around Baz and dives down into the darkness.
I don't have a spell that can... Okay.
Well, I'm 6.
Alright, now that we're back from our meeting.
Yeah, we had a good little meeting there.
And cool. You watch as a
just happened,
second,
I'm at 6 hit points.
Oh!
and he's out of the light.
And I'm out of the light.
Hey, that's not nice.
That might die again.
Cool. You watch as one of these creatures comes just rocketing out of the darkness and slams into this kid, and the kid just fucking just throws it over his shoulder, and it goes sailing back into the darkness.
I
kind of
think
like-
I know what he is. But he's...
He like, as he does it, he like ducks under it and throws her over.
Okay then.
Tavik.
Can I have a Timbit?
I really
Yeah.
have to pee.
I tried to put.
Okay, we got it! Thank goodness!
How far away is Baz, do you think? Would you say?
It's 50 feet.
Okay. Yeah.
It's 50 feet of light, so he'd be 55 feet. As best as you can tell.
Tavik doesn't want you. I don't have a spell that can
Dude, I don't have any spells. I have daggers.
But because we said the fire. Oh, I didn't mark down my
Would
spell
Fairy
slot.
Fire be gone? Its duration is 1 minute.
No, it hasn't been a minute
it
yet.
would not be gone, but the 3 that it hit, one of them is
Are-
dead, and the
yeah.
other 2 have just fucking fled.
Okay,
Like,
I
they're
used-
fucking out. They just saw their friend get decapitated by a dagger.
Yeah.
They're not sticking around.
How far is it? 120 feet. Can I try and guiding bolt the one that was grabbing onto Baz?
The one that's grabbing onto Baz?
Yes. Or would I not be able to see?
It's...
I still have dark vision. I don't know if that would apply.
How far?
Oh, speaking of which, does my dark vision do anything for me in the water or no? Because I think it's 60 feet.
It's
60 feet.
60 feet?
Yes.
Or, no, mine's
You
120,
can catch
sorry.
the tail of the creature.
Guiding bolt.
Because I know...
Okay.
Yeah, because my dark vision's 120 feet.
Ah, it hit the thing. 15? To hit?
15?
Thank goodness.
The one hole that's standing up.
8,
That one.
11, 16 damage.
16 damage?
And it has a glowy light on it now.
Cool, yeah. Not that one. That one's gone. Those 3 are out.
I don't know if the glowy light would remain if it died or not.
How much damage? 15?
16.
16? Okay.
Spell slot myself.
There's a second screech in the water. And you see Baz begin to float up from into the light again. And he's limp.
Oh, never mind.
Fuck.
Okay.
Is that all I can
A
do?
bonus action still, and your free action, and your movement.
What do I have for bonus action? What he? I don't know how range on that.
Aggressively taps.
60 feet. Healing word wouldn't go through the water, would it? Healing word.
Is it vocal?
Yes.
Tabard's also not
You could-
underground.
I'm not underwater.
You're not underwater.
But
You can try it, but it's not going to be as effective.
I'm good for 6 as long as they don't hit me for 6 and under.
yeah, but if you wake up and actually can swim back.
Give it a shot.
Do you have mage hand or anything? Oh no, they can't grab
No.
objects. Or they can't grab me if I'm melee hit.
Okay, another spell
Someone
slot.
If it was
See if he can help
if
you
it
out.
was
is a
mine, I
bonus.
have levitate.
Yeah.
Hey.
But-
D4. You heal 4.
You heal 2.
I mean, that's something.
It's something.
It's diluted by the water. You
Yeah.
can say it loud enough, but it's going to get garbled up at least. Okay. It's Fenn's turn.
Fuck, Fen is still prone.
And Fen goes as he swims down, and you see the elvish woman. She turns around. She doesn't look scared anymore. She looks happy because she's seeing him. And she goes, she grabs out with both hands, and he reaches out with both hands, and she grabs his wrists, forms into the dark kind of skeletal thing, and yank! Fen's gone. And Tallulah screams. Like, she screeches. She just seen one of her best friends fucking yanked into the darkness by a creature she doesn't know. And she just hurls this thing. And it's fucking terrifying. You've seen magic before? This is next level shit. And you just watch as this lightning goes streaking through the water, and it branches off, and you see the forms of some of these actual creatures that have just been, like, swimming around. They've been waiting their turn and stuff, just fucking lit up in the night.
Get lit.
And it arcs down, and you see down at the bottom a cumulation of what must be fucking hundreds of lit up creatures and skeletons and bodies that have just been fucking litter the ground. And you watch as the one that's got Fen just fucking smokes. And Fen is released and, like, shakes back. He begins to try and swim upwards. And Tallulah collapses.
That was all of her stuff.
Cool. And now we get to do this.
What?
Okay. You watch as the kid swims downwards. Yanks onto Fen. And just fucking 2 wings just whoop, out of his back. Fucking
I think I'm
one arm under each armpit and just fucking out of the water he goes.
Okay.
And what about Baz?
Baz.
Oh yeah, no, he yanks Baz by the collar as he goes. Just fucking
Oh.
one's got Fen, the other one's got Baz, and just fucking rockets up
Into, like, the observatory or up onto
Oh,
the
up.
top of the ship?
Copyright.
in the water.
Okay.
Just fucking, he rockets up towards the ship and then
Yeah.
turns and just fucking out into the water.
Okay.
Like, he's not leaving the water. He's just
Okay.
fucking off.
You-
Towards the
Are
front.
we still in initiative then?
We're going on break.
Yay!
What?
Because it's been
We usually go for like an hour and a half.
It is no. Last
It's-
one was an hour.
it's-
This one's an hour.
I know, but we
Okay.
usually go for like an
I
hour.
think
It's
this is
almost been an hour and a half.
this is
We'll be
almost
fine.
an hour and a half.
We'll be back
So we'll
soon.
take a break quick. You guys can yell. I can eat food.
I have to go to the washroom.
Oh,
I have to also pee.
okay.
Well, I'm
So-
going first.
Okay.
We'll be
ready?
back
Yes.
soon, I guess.
You can leave off, please.